Yeah, one, your body looks a certain way. Yeah, two, your body looks a certain way. Yeah, three, yeah, four, that's saying yeah, four. I'm like, oh, this is how I look at our wedding photos. Trying to find myself.
Ule ni nani? Who's that
I'm
on
like,
that photo?
That's our waist. That's what our waist looks like.
What is the silliest thing you ever did while you were trying to impress her before you started dating?
Oh, before we started dating? Oof. Man, it feels like we dated such a long time ago. What in the world did I do, man?
I think, honestly, for us, we were so gangster. And we didn't know how to do this whole Christian dating. I think we thought there's no time to be silly because, you know, kingdom, like, do it for the Lord. So I don't know.
Let me take it back. 2012, 11, what did I do?
Never do a silly thing. I don't know. Maybe changanyaing him about other chicks. Yeah, because he's, being like, hey, you like that chick? And then she's so nini. It wasn't to impress him. He kept on just pushing for all these other chicks. And me, I'm like, look at this one.
Lord Almighty. I don't even think I impressed her in 2012. I think she still didn't like me back then. So let me see. Unless something I did to impress her while dating. Because I'm like, Lord, that is such a... I did not expect that question.
What is the one meal that you ever made for him that backfired, but you covered it up so well, he didn't realize it had backfired?
Oh, mercy Jesus. I once made what? Oh, jeez. I once made like a stir fry something, and the food fell on the floor. Oh yeah, it fell on the floor. And this was me. It's expensive. I'm not wasting. It did not only fall on the floor, guys. It fell on the mop also.
No.
Yeah. So I looked at that stir fry and said, 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, picked it up, put it on the pan and served it.
Oh no.
Then the following day, I asked, how you feeling? Is your body good? You're not sick? I was like, oh, it's okay, because it fell on the floor and the mop.
Oh god, no.
So that was actually a good meal, and we didn't get sick. I just couldn't twist. I mean, one and stuff like there's no. Actually, it's our best meal. It probably had all the germs in the world, but we didn't die. I also didn't get sick, so that's
He left me floored.
I know.
There's one time when I made some fish with, it had a little bit extra citric acid. But the funny thing is, she says that's the best meal she's ever eaten. And I kid you not, like, I messed up my portions of that, but until today she always wants me to make a meal like that. So I have to learn how to spoil a meal just to impress her. So maybe on the impressing thing, I might go back and try spoiling some meals. Yeah.
What was your biggest fear about getting married?
Lord. Well, my biggest fear about getting married.
the thing that I was so afraid about marriage is because the person you're dating is the person you'll be with forever. So the lastness of it, like this is the last guy I'm going to date, and this is the only guy I'm ever going to ever. It felt so final. So for me, marriage felt like, as in, I now pronounce you forever. I was so afraid.
Was probably just being a disappointment in terms of, like how we build how marriage is supposed to look, and how husband is supposed to be. And if you maybe know one or two sides of life. Maybe you've tasted the lower side and then you've tasted the higher side, and you don't want to, you know, like unatoa mtu aitela unamtoa Karen alafu nenda kumficha kwa kadich mahali. You know, I didn't want that, you know, and so even as a one income household at that point, you know, always just saying, okay, God, how in the world will we do that?
I mean, I loved it, but then I was like, yo, check though, like this is like till death, and I don't think I'm dying soon, so I was afraid of that. Yeah.
So I was afraid I might not be able to provide as a husband and give her the life that she needs. Yeah.
What is the one thing that you love about her but you rarely tell her?
The one thing I love about her but I rarely tell her.
How he allows me to send him all the time. Love that. Nilete maji, nibebe bag, nilete dawa from the room. Oh, I love it. Even though sometimes he gives me attitude, he still does it. So,
Yes,
favorite thing in the world.
I think I like how her lips look. I don't know. There's just something about her lips. And
All right, so
awkward moment.
We interrupt this broadcast.
For a sponsor, awkward moment.
The first session, we just had them telling us a bit of their funny history, some of the mischief that they did to each other, but they didn't know until this moment.
Yeah.
But now we want to dive more into a bit of more serious stuff, just to get to know what their journey has been so far.
Yeah.
So this is David and this is Lillian.
David.
Who is that?
What's with people denying their first name?
No!
The government knows you as Lillian.
That's a called government name.
Sawa
The
James.
government of
James Okumumbure. Okumumbure.
Thank you.
Even though he's, oh my goodness, I like that.
Tuende kwa yake.
No, me, I'm not. I've been kind. Do not. I have. Did I mention I didn't? Don't.
All right.
Can I do that?
No.
All right, this is David. Actually, let me do it properly.
Yeah.
This is David Philemon Okumu Oyukes,
Na wewe kama jina zako zote?
aka Black Skills.
Everything is skills.
Skills. I'm Jimmy. KS. The T is always silent.
No, James.
Mbona
Who's
una-
Jimmy?
James
Yeah.
You
Omukumbure
better introduce
Yeah.
Soila.
Don't do my
You
angry.
better.
Me, I'm just Soila.
This is Agnes.
No.
Agi.
She didn't even know.
Agi.
You made Sheila know.
Agnes.
You did.
Agi tulijua.
Agnes.
Agnes.
Soila Soitara, which is supposed to be cancelled. Supposed to be Soila Wamalwa.
Yes.
I can't believe this is happening.
And then we have Lillian Koki Oyuke.
Ni sawa tu.
We've been married for 4 years, and that's quite some time, especially for our generation, where
Now,
you know,
yeah.
if something is not working out the first year, you bail.
Yeah.
So I think we're just curious to know, in the 4 years of marriage that you guys have had, we want to know. Now, this is the purpose of why the show is called What We Know for Sure. So I think for me, the first question I would like to ask is, have you battled with feelings of, did I really marry the right person? You know, especially when
written about it, by the way.
when things are not going right, and you're like, God, did I really hear you right?
Yeah.
You know, did I make a mistake? Should I have stayed with my ex? You know, I mean, these questions are people we you know.
You need to answer that question.
Me,
Yeah, you know
No,
the
you are safe.
conviction.
You're
Of the question.
you are safe.
friend.
Don't worry.
I won't.
Because I think
What an HI cover
Avocado.
because you're about
Anything
to
can happen,
spill
you
your
guys.
Sharp
No, he's
boy.
about to spill his tea. So.
I think there are,
Oh,
especially
God.
when things are not smooth. It's normal
To go there.
to think,
Yeah.
would I have been better if the other relationship worked? It doesn't mean you are going. It doesn't mean you want to
Yeah.
go there.
No,
but
you look at it like that's assuming the other relationship before that worked.
Yeah.
yes, that's the assumption.
Also, why did it
actually,
end?
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
If it was so good.
I want this discussion
Yeah.
to have as much assumptions as
Yeah.
possible, and then we narrow down to the
Yeah.
reality of the matter.
yeah.
So, assuming all those things, how do you handle with the feelings and the thoughts of did I marry the right person? And what brings those feelings? Do they just come when you are not getting along?
Yeah.
Do they come because you never really healed from your past relationship, so you
Yeah.
have residues
Yeah.
of how things used to happen? What exactly brings those feelings?
And how to deal
how
with
you
the
handle
feelings.
with them?
Yeah.
How you-
I don't think I struggle with the thing of did I marry the right person. I think the main thing for me is
Usiseme point yangu.
what's the definition of the right person? You know,
Oh, okay.
like
Welcome to marriage.
the right person.
Usiseme point yangu because I'll have nothing.
Yeah. Umesema you go next.
But for real though, like I asked myself, okay, what's my definition of the right person? The narrative tells us to look for the right person, not to become the right person for somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And so for a long period of time, I took the onus on myself to try and become the right person. You know, because if you're the right person, then you'll attract the right person for you.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that I know in terms of if I married the right person is how do we handle like conflict? Like how do we handle our beef, man?
Yeah.
You know, like after you guys have shouted your heads off, you know, the walls are cracking because you're shouting, you know, after all that is said and done, and after you've seen the most ugliest parts of each other, do you still want to be together? You know, and for me that's been the case with my marriage. You know, our relationship always it started from fighting, like from the word go, right? Because we had a past, you know, and so many people start their relationship of Aki, this person, I've just seen them and oh my god. Ours was guy.
It's like, Lord, no one else. There's no one else.
You know, and so by the time you're already getting into the relationship, there's so much you have to deal with. It would be ludicrous to continue that relationship if you are not right for each other because of all the stuff that you guys have gone through.
Yeah.
So the conflict is not an indicator of whether the person is right or wrong for you.
No, like I think every relationship has had conflict.
Yeah.
You know, you can
If you don't have conflicts, they're different things.
Yeah, man. You even have conflict with yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
So how can you not have conflict with somebody
another-
else?
yeah.
You know, there are times you'll sit down and you're like, man, I shouldn't have done that. What was wrong with me?
Yeah.
You know, do you have that inner dialogue
Yeah.
that is conflict based? If you have that within yourself, then how can people say that? Oh, I can't be in a relationship where we have conflict. You know, then you break up with yourself.
Yeah.
One of the biggest arguments, and nowadays if you come to our house by there and you find a pile of dishes, please know our marriage is good. It was not, okay? Please don't come judging because you don't know what we've been through. You don't know. Because we always I used to tell God, I can't be married. And year 1, year 2, year 3, we're just arguing about dishes and sijui socks next to the sofa. I said, I will not be that chick. I'm not that chick. So I decided I will leave the piles of dishes. Because it's true, Dave is also busy, and if he's like, I'll do the dishes, I'm like, babe, remember to do them? He's like, yep. Remember to do them tomorrow? Yep. Remember to do them on Saturday? Yep. Remember to do them on Sunday? It's for peace, okay? Our marriage is stronger now because that's such a petty thing. Do you know people get divorced in marriage because of petty things?
It's always the small
Our
things.
pastor used to tell us how there's a couple that divorced because of a spoon.
Yeah. I can't remember that.
I said it will never be me.
Yeah.
Because of dishes and socks. I said no.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick my own battles. Ukikuja tu and you just wonder, this one's kwani they've made a feast, or actually even right now in our house there's piles of dishes right now. As I was speaking, I'm here and there's piles of dishes and I'm happy.
let me tell you what happened. So Ella used to give me grief. Until we eaten, you know those lazy suppers, lazy evenings. You eat,
We were starting
you
off
watch
in
a
a-
movie,
I stopped.
then you go and sleep. You don't remember to take the dishes.
Yeah, you
to
leave
the
them there.
relief.
Oh my gosh.
So Ella used to wake up in the morning. Yani, you just left dishes. You just watched your movie and went to sleep. Watch, I realize she does the same thing.
It's true, by the way.
What's
Did
all
you
the noise
ever tell
about?
her?
Hey!
Because me, they've
that's
said,
how
how many times do I tell?
Yeah.
And I was like,
She
you
did the
don't
same
tell
thing.
me. And I was like, oh God, humble.
Yeah, exactly. I said, this battle is not mine anyway.
true.
Yeah.
It always looks worse when the other person
It's
is doing
true.
it.
So it's so painful.
Yeah.
So
And you don't
true.
realize that you're doing
You're doing
the
it
same
as well.
thing.
But
You
that
know.
doesn't mean you married the wrong person.
That's
Yeah.
true. I don't want to get married early on because I was like, see, you fix me till I'm perfection. But
And then I show up.
yeah. So that it's like, no. So that when I enter, hakuna
Yeah.
shida. Because
Yeah.
I knew I can come with stuff and I wanted to be perfect. But then God perfects you in mind.
Yeah.
And most people don't want that because it's true, it's very uncomfortable. But like for me, gosh, wow, I used to just think, God, just mercy.
Yeah.
Please help us get to the altar. Najua mi ni mgumu, hata yeye ni mgumu. I used to really I really was so concerned that I was not the best person for marriage.
So, question number 2. I liked the fact that Koki mentioned that she has a past. You guys had a past. You didn't drop from heaven and God put you together.
Yeah.
So, based on the past experiences you had, what are some of the damaging lies about sex that you have had to unlearn from your past experiences, even as you just grow in marriage and experience the new realities of sex in marriage? Yeah.
Well. You wanna go? Do you want me to go? I think for me on 2 spectrums. One, that great sex is just porn related.
Yeah.
And if you dissect it, you look at it and you'll realize a lot of people think about sex and they think just about the person's body or what the person is
yeah.
doing to them,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like the intimacy of it is not there.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, like also on the Christian flip side, is that sex is just this transactional thing. You get married, you enter the room, you close the lights, you do what you need to do, and then after that, like kids, and you raise a family,
Yeah.
So like the intimacy of it was either not described, or if it was there, it was muddied
Yeah.
for it to look very nasty. Alafu kitu kingine, the whole thing, chauvinism has kind of put this whole thing off. It's like sex is a thing that the woman gets done for, man.
Yeah.
Like so.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
It's funny because
it's like
women
couple.
think the other way.
No, like this is what I mean. It's like this one's for. It's like sex is like a power play, So it's like a way of a man, showing
power.
It's like a power move. Yeah. It's this one's for, and that's why a lot of men can easily talk about the stuff for. Oh, them nilalangana eh.
Yeah.
But you won't find chicks being like, "Oh boy, nilalangana."
Yeah.
Banades.
Yeah.
Things are changing.
Yeah,
Body count.
Yeah, body count and stuff like that.
That's
Like, the
true.
conversation is happening, and then you find even with the statements, funny, weird things, like even when it comes to sex, like I was picturing this thing in the house. It's for the ones for. Unacheka saa ya kazi, but
I know what you're saying.
because like even
That's
like
true.
for us and our sex life, like it was weird because like at first like
It's true, by the way.
yeah, like she would laugh, and giggle and stuff, and then she just start busting, like even before we start having sex, just bust out, and then I'm like,
What's happening
You
there?
know.
It's like, why are you ruining this holy work? Kazi, ni saa ya kazi.
That's the holy work. Oh my
Ni saa ya
god.
kazi.
What
And
holy
I used to be like, dude, chill.
But I was describing me.
Yeah, sorry, I'm remembering.
I was like, if you look at it, people tend to think that sex is it's like the dude to show
Yeah.
do and
Yeah.
it's like chicks have no part to
Part to
play
play.
apart from being the object
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
sex.
Yeah.
So for me, just to understand that it's it's relational, it's love, it's deep, it's funny, it's romantic, it's a blend of all those things, you know. It's not the functional of sasa tumeingia katika madhabahu, you know how people say that bed is an altar, tunaika mchezo kando, hapa ni kazi, you know. You know, like it's, you know, it's so weird, it's so weird, but honestly that's how people think, you know.
For me, anyway. I actually, when I thought of the question, I didn't have something, and then I remembered something. Oh, holy Jesus! Me, when I was in the world, sex was about what's your scorecard, Aki? The truth. Oh, wow. Even if it's in a monogamous relationship with your one person, it's for like, we're in the 100th day, it's the 100th, it's the 100th day of the year. And you know, we're already at 365. I used to be like that, and it was such a banner of honor. Oh, but the Lord. So this is how God really put me down to earth. When we were dating, I don't know if God tells people very weird, or it's a weird conversation. Why wouldn't God talk to you about sex? So me, I'm just minding my business. And then I think I was asleep, or if I wasn't asleep, I had God tell me. And he was like, Koki, don't worry. Sex with Dave is going to be good. Then this is me. Why are you telling me? I'm like, you know, we're kind of dating right now. Why are you talking about? So I was telling me that in 2013, even though I knew we were going to get married. I was like, this is... And then I was like, wow, God, that's a bit too deep. So, thanks. But I think it's because somewhere in the back of my mind, even though I didn't realize it, I was thinking, you know, how is it going to be? Though I told you, I was so afraid of the finality of marriage. Not because I wanted to be with other people, but I'm like, this is my person forever and always. So I think God was just like, you know, chill, boo. Don't start running, even though you've started dating, because you're like, how is this going to go down? Then, do you know what God told me? So we get married 24th July. 25th July, we wake up, we both had like certain dreams. Me, the dream, God told him a nice, wonderful, wow thing. My dream was, God told me, he sent someone to tell me, Cookie, don't use sex as medicine. So I was like,
I remember you telling me that.
Wow, God, just like the night after, I said, my baby, Cookie, don't use sex as medicine. I was like, noted. So I think
what
that's
was the
how...
deeper
It's that, the way I've just explained how...
You feel sad? Have sex.
Yeah.
You feel lonely? Have sex.
You
get a bad day at work? Have sex.
If you're bored,
have sex.
Because and he told me, don't use sex as medicine. And I was like, but at least you see, when we were dating, God had started introducing me to such conversations. Because, you know, it's like, because you get told in premarital that, you know, God is supposed to help. I mean, he made us. He made sex. He knows. So he'd know what's good for me, what's good for Dave, what's healthy. He would tell you if it's unhealthy. So I was like, oh yeah, that's what we get told. But I was like, wow, God, you couldn't wait for like at least 2 weeks to tell me the night after. Don't use it as medicine. Noted.
Interesting. I think for me, the major thing that I picked up was that sex is meant, as you said, to please the man. Woman, you're nowhere in this. So where kazi yako, avail yourself. When the man is ready, avail yourself. But now in marriage, there's a place of wholeness. The things we used to learn in premarital, that it's not just about one person. Now that's a selfish angle to it. Then that's something else. It's not even sex. Now you reduce it to a physical act. You take away from the essence and the depth of what sex is supposed to be in marriage. The fullness that it's supposed to bring and the wholeness it's supposed to bring while two people are married.
You guys have been seeing this nice jar just in front of us. So we want to see what's in the cookie jar. We are seeing some interesting things. So what will happen? You'll pick a question from there. Okay. Cookie will also pick a question from there. If you pick a safe one, good for you. If you pick a scandalous one,
it's okay. We'll just throw it back to you guys. Back to you in studio.
I mean, pick young.
Yeah, Misha pick. I wait for how much he just answers the question, then you can.
We can start with you.
Okay.
Yeah. You can pick as you think about how to answer it.
No, there's no thinking.
Oh, there's no thinking. It's quick fire.
So am I asking her?
You answer.
Yeah. You tell us what the question is, and then you answer.
What brings sex shame in marriages? I think it's a very nice question. I think comparison.
Wow. Yeah.
Comparison is a big one. You know, like you, again, a lot of people's definition of what sex is has been built from pornography.
Yeah, it's
If
true.
you're to be very honest,
Yeah.
you know. So you'll find somebody that looks, how maze, like Ndokona, somebody has cubes,
So you-
from the neck to the feet. Just covered in cubes, you know. Zingine ni kama Royco cubes.
See Adam's apple.
Adam's cubes, you know. So like you see all these things, alafu unapata maze, you it's like the night maybe you have sex. Maze, wewe umekona kitambi mpaka unaificha nyuma ya mgongo.
You want to remove your lavender.
You get it out of the way first.
You know. So you're there, you're like, oh my god, you know. Alafu napata ndio maana watu hupenda kuzima steam.
And I was saying how, like, for us, the thing that we were taught in premarital is in the light. But also when you're having sex during the day, like,
Oh, that's actually cool though.
no, but like it's a for. I mean, I will see you. I will see your body.
Yeah.
See my body. This is how I look.
Yeah, you know. So there's a lot of body shaming that even goes into it.
Yeah.
You know, that goes into that.
Yeah.
Of course, also there's the whole aspect of people comparing like how long somebody should, last in
Performance
bed
now.
and stuff like that. You know, how many rounds, and
That's
stuff like
true.
that.
Like one of our pastors was saying how it's not necessarily about quantity, which by that I had gotten over. It's about quality, because there are different seasons. If someone is in a high pressure work environment, man, as in I need to remember it's not just physical. I need to show up in every aspect. So it's not about how many times, because if people shared, they'll be like, oh, us, we've had sex like 5 times in a day, but maybe they're in the honeymoon.
Yeah.
Proper. I
Different
mean,
season, yeah.
you get, and then
Yeah.
sometimes you can have sex probably just once, but the nature of it
Connection.
and the connection of it will take
It's
you
so
even
fulfilling.
like
Yeah.
a month or 2 months, because you see high pressure job, or if depression, or if someone just had a baby. I mean, it'll be everything. So for me, it was cool. You always remember quality over quantity.
Quantity.
So I preach that to the ends
Yeah.
of the hour.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Nice,
your
right?
turn. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you guys,
They can ask us a bonus question, but not from here. These ones are for you.
you guys,
Just one. You're picking just one. I know you're
Yeah.
gonna answer all the questions, but just pick one.
I don't want to see.
I don't want to see.
How do you handle body image issues in marriage?
Look at that, and we actually just talked about
Yep.
that. Interesting. We can
How it plays out.
dive
So
deeper into that.
I guess this one we can look at it from personal perspectives. So like for me, friends, one, your body looks a certain way. 2, your body looks a certain way. 3, 4, that's in 4. I'm like, this is how I look at our wedding photos. Trying to find myself.
Ule ni nani? Who's that
I'm
on
like,
that photo?
that's a waist. That's what a waist looks like.
Kikai. Why? But anyway,
And you don't feel, I don't know about you guys, I don't know about me, you don't feel the change. You're still the same person inside, but outside, where are you? And I think for me, just being open about it and telling my husband, wow, so this stomach lives here now. Hello, friend.
It's not visiting.
Hello, friend. You're here to stay. And just loving it. Also, my husband's body has changed.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, as your bodies are changing, I think I stopped having the pressure, because I exercised before getting active with friends.
Hey, you are on Sean T like
Hey,
crazy.
I was fitter than most, okay? And I don't even know if I'll ever go back. But I really was. That's why I'm really looking. God, if I tell you the amount of kgs that the good Lord has pounded on me. But it's okay? Because I love this new body. I love my husband's new. I'd be like, you live here now. Fine. Having conversations with my belly, with my thighs. You don't realize until you wear pants. Like for me, I know when I started realizing. I had certain jeans and they would show the dimples on my thighs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, you are here now.
I would move the tummy
Hello.
up, oil down, then take it back.
Yes. Because mafuta ndio maana msikupenda. Like you are here now.
Oh God,
and
yeah.
it's okay. And when I walk, there's more of a jiggle. It's okay. It's fine. So again, sex in the light is for I have shown up in my new glory. You better appreciate
That
me
chicken.
because I am beautiful. But I've learned. I actually like. It's not like you compare because you're growing together. You don't as much as it's true. It's a memory. How I used to look Siwonga. It's a memory, friends. And I don't know if it's a memory for you, but seeing the changes even in my husband's body, it's just I keep saying all those roles and all those extra kgs, they have a story of our life together.
Yeah.
So and I actually like and I like touching his belly and his love handles. I love it. Don't I?
Yeah, you do that
touch
a lot,
it
yeah.
all the time. It's so cute. I don't see as in so
part
because
of
that's
the
how
mind.
Yeah.
and it's not like those ones were like, why is this here? Because me, I know how I am. So me kukwambia dimples back for me. It's like, what is that? But it's okay. So I've learned to appreciate it. You show up as you are, friends, because mwili sema nini something nini mwili kwa ribu.
Ati nini? Jenga mwili haribu jina.
Sasa jenga marriage haribu mwili.
That's true, actually. That's really interesting.
Am I speaking? I don't know.
No, it may be
that's
done.
okay.
I think what I'd say about how do you handle body image issues in your marriage?
Body. Mbogi na body.
Please accept me as I am. Body image issues in marriage. I really like the angle she's taken, but the most important thing why she is that and how she's explained it is because of how you've handled her.
Yes, I was just about.
Is it how you've responded to her growth, how she's responded to yours, has made it comfortable for her to be able to just be comfortable in her skin and in her body. I know there are people in marriages where now a husband will say, no, umeanza kunaona siku hizi, you look bad. If your husband now starts talking bad against your body, then you start having self-esteem issues. So I like where you guys are at. If I get support from Kat is that I like you the way you are. Katumbo kamekuja lakini you still look fine. It's not from a place of body shaming. It's just from a place I love you whatever, wherever. So I think the partner plays a big part in ensuring that the other person feels comfortable in their own skin. Because I mean, all of us, yes, I was size 8 when I was getting married. Now I don't even know what size I am.
A good size.
I'm a good size.
2.0.
It's true, yeah. I tried getting into my wedding dress. I couldn't. And I'm like, oh goodness, you're done. I'm done with you. Bye-bye. But yeah, it's how you get support from your partner.
Make peace with the fact that your spouse will change.
That's true.
And make peace with the fact that you will change. So, in as much as you love how they look at that moment, understand that this is not always the same.
That's true.
And love them through their transitions, right?
Love them through their transitions.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us for this
Yes.
Thanks for joining us for this lovely conversation. This is Sheila. Sheila is a very good friend of us.
Yes.
And
Friend of us.
she's a good friend of ours. Nijioni, so the brain cells are dying off. Sheila is a really good friend of ours, and she's been our lovely host as well as our lovely caterers.
If you want
Chef, if
quickness,
I may call it that.
hostess.
Hostess.
She's just a hostess,
These
yes.
cupcakes are amazing.
They're gorgeous.
Absolutely amazing.
Start selling them. Hala. Yeah. Hala.
I don't know if you guys can probably just say something small about your books.
You can buy my book, Flowers in a Broken Vase. It's poetry anthology. In addition to that, you can always hear my voice on KTN. Ukisikia sauti kama hii, utajua kwamba unaongea David Oyukes. That or like as a voiceover. Yeah, man, and let's connect, man. At David Oyukes on my social media handles. David Oyukes Black Skills, Facebook, Instagram. Yeah.
So, I wrote a book. It's called Chosen Not Cheated. And it's a book about how to overcome the things that you're afraid of, and especially the imposter syndrome. So it's very honest, it's very real, it has no filters like you've seen today on the table. It's really fun. It's 1,300. So details, I think, check below. And you'll be able
description
to,
as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And description. And you'll be able to get it. Please get it. It's really a good book. When you go to my social media, especially Instagram. You can read some of the reviews. You can see some of the interviews about the book. It's a really good book.
Alright guys, thanks for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe.